mass consciousness, collective awakening. I'm talking to the one who knows that there's only one life on this earth and we are all tiny pieces of it. That we're not actually separate, but that there are forces on this earth that are trying to convince us of our separation, to manipulate us in a way that keeps us in victim consciousness, when in reality, we in every single moment have the opportunity to tap into what's actually true, which is that we are all one life here on this earth. Not only on this earth, also in the entire universe, but we can just keep it local so it's easier to conceptualize. I feel like in some of my other videos, I might have been targeting the person who needs to start to understand this truth. But actually, I think it's much more worth my time to really focus on you who already knows that this is true. So you know that it's true. What do you need to do? You just need a reminder. So here's your reminder. What to do? There's nothing to do but know the truth and set your intention to think, speak, and act from what you know is true. When you find yourself thinking, speaking, and acting from a place of separation based on beliefs of lack, based on fear-based thinking, then redirect over and over and over again. It's the same message every time. It's the same answer to every question, maybe with different wording, but it all boils down to recognizing and remembering that we are all one life. Our awareness of the one life that we are is the remedy to all of the apparent issues that are appearing on the earth. Maybe this sounds vague. There's a lot of war. There's a lot of political division in the United States and in other countries as well. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of conflict on the macro level. And there's a lot of it being reported in mainstream media. We want to be informed, so it's a good thing to tune into that sometimes. But it's an even better thing to remind ourselves and to be reminded and to remind each other that we are all one life. And that division, fear, separation keeps us powerless and at the mercy of those who would want to gain from our separation. And I don't need to necessarily go into detail to specify who's they. You know, you hear people talk about they're doing this. Who's they? The ones who are in power, the powers that be, political powers that be, institutional powers that be, financial, governmental powers that be, religious powers that be, sectarian powers that be, familial powers that be. You know, it's not only on the level of large organizations, but also on the level of family units. There's a lot of talk about authoritarianism and power grabs and things like that. Are you power grabbing your own system, or are you taking time to listen to the small voices in your system that are here to guide you? In the same way that our country, our society, our world would benefit from actual democracy, actual power from the people, instead of power from the few. On an individual level, you can benefit from listening to all of the subtle, seemingly small voices, instincts, intuitive sensations that are appearing and disappearing in your body, in your heart, in your mental space, moment by moment, at this exact moment, right now. Don't be distracted by the noises outside. Don't be distracted by the propaganda in mainstream media. Don't be distracted by your intrusive thoughts. Let them be there. Allow them to be exactly the way they are. Don't fight against them. Just withdraw your attention from them selectively. Don't put your head in the sand. Don't ignore what's real. Don't ignore what's happening around you. But keep your eye on the prize, as they say. Keep a gentle focus inward as you are open to what's happening outside of you. Keep a gentle focus partially inward to receive the messages, the guidance from your internal organs, from your cells, from the subtle aspects of your psyche, from your inner child. From all of your inner parts, all of your deep wisdom, ancestral wisdom, angelic wisdom, wisdom from your past lives. You don't necessarily need to do a past life regression to access the wisdom of your past lives. Just take a moment of silence right now and feel what sensations are appearing and disappearing in your chest right now. Take a moment as often as you can, maybe more often than you have been. Take a moment to just be in the silence and the stillness of your inner space. That doesn't mean that the space around you needs to be silent. You don't need to control the environment around you. Like right now, I'm on my balcony and there's these people, they're talking so loud. Hopefully my microphone isn't picking them up, but they're talking so loud. And of course, my attention goes from you over to them, but on a subtle level as well, my attention goes to the gentle rustling of the leaves in this tree. The wind is blowing through. There's some birds singing. And those sounds bring up nice, pleasant sensations, pleasant reactions in my system. And maybe the people talking loud bring up a negative aversion, anger, frustration sensation in my system. There's no need to stop the negative reaction, and there's no need to cling on to the positive reactions. Just allow it all to be, and keep that gentle, subtle inward focus. And make contact with the silence and the stillness that's happening inside. The space in between your thoughts. The silence before thinking appears. All the thoughts and the impulses, the sensations, they bump up against each other. They create domino effects internally. And that's all happening within the space of what you are, in the space of your inner silence. Whether there are thoughts or whether there are not thoughts, there's always space in which the thoughts appear and disappear. That silence, that space, is what I'm inviting you to make contact with. How's it related to mass consciousness? Because this apparent individual is appearing and will disappear within the space of this mass consciousness. You, the apparent you, who you have believed yourself to be, that person, that name that you go by, or that name that you chose for yourself, that identity that you identify with, that race, religion, gender, political affiliation, etc. It all appeared at some point in time, and it will disappear at some point in time. But it's appearing and disappearing within the space of what we are. And the more that we can become aware of and tap into the mass consciousness on this earth, or if that sounds too big, just start with the mass consciousness in your family system, or the mass consciousness in your relationship between you and your lover, or you and your partner, you and your counterpart, you and your neighbors, even if they're loud when you're trying to make a video. Tap into the space, recognize that we are the exact same consciousness. We're different flavors of the same consciousness. And you already know this, but this is your gentle reminder. Peace be with you.